Hey everybody, welcome to week 11. You guys survived week 10, which was kind of a lot, and you are still standing, so good for you. Give yourselves a pat on the back. This week we still have kind of a heavier workload, not as bad as last week, but we have some significant things to do. So we are still going to have Serial put on a timeout for this week, so that will be off of your course schedule. This week, the due dates are a little bit different, kind of the same, but a little bit different. You will just have things due on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. So you will see that your course schedule looks shortened, but that is just beware that you'll probably be doing just as much work, even though the list is shorter. This week, we are going to focus on writing. We're going to be writing a lot this week. And as you know, writing is hard work, and time consuming. So that is our focus for this week. The overview for the week is we are going to finish up our green sheets finally. You are going to finish up your retributive and restorative justice green sheets and hand those in. And then you are going to be writing your first and only synthesis paper. And so I know it says number 3 here, but this is just the third synthesis activity. The first synthesis activity was with distributive justice and commutative justice, and you just had to do a little reflecting on the process of synthesis. The second synthesis activity, you filled out a worksheet to go with procedural and social justice, as well as writing a little reflection on the synthesis process. And now you are going to dive in and actually write a synthesis paper synthesizing restorative and retributive justice. You are also going to be writing your first and shitty first draft of this justice paper that we have been preparing for a while now. So we finally are getting to the place where you can start writing your paper. So again, just a little way to organize your thinking. You're going to do your green sheets if you haven't already. They've been up for a long time. Hopefully you did that already, or you will be doing it over the weekend before Monday happens. And then you're going to be writing your synthesis paper. Then you're going to have a pre-writing worksheet, of course, to get your thoughts in order before you do your brain dump for your justice paper. So that's kind of the sequence of events for this week. So on Monday, you will start by doing your green sheets and your synthesis paper. That is all going to be due on Tuesday. So you get your green sheets done, get those into the assignment folder, and then do this. There's a worksheet that will help you start thinking about your synthesis paper about retributive and restorative justice. So make sure you read this worksheet that I have posted here. That will help you think a little bit and figure out how you're going to synthesize these two justice types. And then you're going to hand that in. Both of these things are due Tuesday. I know that sometimes the due dates get a little bit wonky, so please make sure that you are following your course schedule. So look at your course schedule and make sure that you are following that. All right, so the next thing you're going to be doing is this pre-writing worksheet. So there are 4 pieces to this worksheet, and they're mostly graphic organizers, as you can see. You are going to be filling all of this out, and there is a video that will go with it. So the writing the justice paper, getting started video is what you should be watching, and you should have these 4 or this little packet of pre-writing up on your computer or printed out so you can follow along and understand what your job is here, okay? So you're going to be figuring out some words. You're going to be figuring out what's essential and non-essential in justice. You're going to be figuring out the stops that you are going to be taking your journey on, and you're going to figure out your final destination, which is going to be your thesis statement that comes at the end of your paper. So make sure that you're watching this video, and that will help you fill out these graphic organizers for pre-writing before you start on your justice paper. Okay? Then, of course, you're going to do your brain dump. And I know that I go over this in the video as well, but I'm just going to remind you that we've done a lot of practice about synthesis, about all of the texts and your text sets, and we've been just doing a lot of practice since you handed in your personal narrative. And now is the magical time where you're going to put all of that together. And this is going to be a little bit different than your personal narrative brain dump, because that was all about you, and we worked with all of your ideas, putting it into the correct form after you had your ideas down. This time we started with form, and now you get to put your ideas down. So just make sure that you are using the things that you have learned to the best of your ability for your brain dump on Friday. That is due on Friday morning. So just don't just vomit out a definition. That's what you've kind of been doing in the discussion board. You've been just collecting ideas in the discussion board for your writer's notebook discussion. I don't want that. I want you to start trying to figure out where your stops are. I want you to try to get some semblance of a paper in order, knowing that it's not going to be anywhere near done, but just figure out, like, how are you going to do your stops, and where, how are you going to do that? Figure out an invitation that, may or may not work. Figure out some sort of concluding paragraph with your thesis at the end. Figure that out, okay? So that's Friday that you're going to hand that in along with your pre-writing worksheet. All right, so I guess the only thing that's left for you to do is to get writing and to be brilliant. So I hope you have a wonderful week, and I hope this week feels a little bit less stressful than last week. And then we'll get back to kind of our normal workload next week. So have a great week. Let me know if you need me, and I will see you in the next presentation.